Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market session. First of all, very happy Ganesh Chaturthi and Michhami Dugram to all the friends. And overall friends, talking about the global markets, it was a good day for both US and European markets, and even Asian markets were relatively stronger yesterday. However, today morning, most of the Asian markets are slightly quieter, as some of the data points that came out from Japan on the export front were not positive, and they have registered a third consecutive decline in the export sales. Also, the PMI data that came out from China was flat, so that is having some negative implications on our market. Also friends, the crude price has actually come down to almost 108.6, 3 to 4% kind of a cut, because of the indications from Saudi Arabia that they are going to check the price of crude oil, which is definitely a bit of a positive. But back home friends, we had a major negative political development wherein Mamata Banerjee has pulled the plug on the government on this important issues of FDI in retail and diesel price hike and so on and so forth, and actually she has pulled out of the UPA. Because of which the government is currently in minority, and they'll have to figure out how they will be able to manage the support of some of the other parties to gain the majority. So because of this entire development which has happened on Tuesday, there is a bit of a negative sentiment, and more importantly, what really happens to the reforms going forward, because after a long spell of time the government had started taking important and bold steps. And because of this development, if that pace of reforms get derailed, then there is definitely going to be bit of a negative development for our markets. So this is something that we'll have to watch out for, what really happens on the political developments. The indications are that the government will not go back on reforms, but more importantly, who supports the government and how government deals with the reform part is something that the market would be keenly watching out for. Friends, on the flows front, we had extremely strong flows even on Tuesday, and FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of about 1030 crore, and the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 640 odd crore. And looking at the SGX Nifty, we are going to see opening somewhere around 5570 odd levels. Remember that on Tuesday when we closed, the Nifty futures closed somewhere around 5615, 5620. So from that level we are going to see a cut of about 40 to 45 odd points. Let's ask Nandesh about the F&O Qs and what kind of strategy one can have in the current market scenario. Hi Nandesh, good morning. Overnight we had a major political development, and because of that there is an element of uncertainty in the market. So would you suggest any specific strategy for the people who have a long position and they want to protect for a possible downside because of this uncertainty?
See, we have seen a very good movement, from 5,300. We were hovering around 5,400 levels. That was the resistance, and once we surpassed those levels, we have seen a sharp rally towards 5,630 levels. And now, majority of the long positions have been building on a higher side. So it's clearly indicating that we might face resistance around 5650, 5,700 because aggressive long positions continue to build. So what we are suggesting at the current levels, one can protect their long positions by buying bear put spread at the current levels. One can buy 5,500 put option and simultaneously sell 5,400 put option at the current levels. So no, it's not a profit making game, but at least if we see a fall from the current levels, it will protect the portfolio or any long positions from the current levels.
Also, it would make sense to buy simple puts for any long positions that you have, so that in case of any major negative development, you are at least protected to some extent.
Yeah, even that will do. 5,500 put option is getting at attractive valuations. So one can buy 5,500 put option also only at the current levels.
Okay, any other interesting observations that you have on the F&O markets?
See, we have seen that 5,600 call option has seen some unwinding, and at the same time 5,500 and 5,400 put option has continued to build good open interest. PCR ratio has seen an uptake. Now we have seen around 1.17. This series we started around 0.92, and from there we have seen a sharp uptake. So it's clearly indicating that any fall in the market will continue to see buying coming in. 5,500, even 5,400 for that matter, continue to remain a very good levels for the market for this September series.
Okay, any specific ideas that you have shortlisted for us?
See, Tata Motors is looking good from the current levels. 270 can be placed as a stop loss, and one can take a long positions on an intraday basis. Apart from that, LIC housing, we have seen that it is consolidating in the range around 265 on a higher side and 245 on a lower side. It's presently the higher band, around the higher band. So one can buy 260 put option of LIC, or one can even sell LIC future for a positional basis with a stop loss of 265.
Right, Nandish, thanks a lot for that update. Friends, talking about the companies in the news today, first of all, Nalco has got clearance from Odisha for setting up a 5 lakh per annum aluminium smelter and a captive power plant. So one can go long on Nalco with a stop loss of 53 and a target of about 55.5 to 56.5. And in case of Jet Airways, there are reports that the company is in talks with the Etihad Airways of Abu Dhabi for some kind of an alliance or even investment into the company, that is Jet Airways. So one can go long on Jet Airways with a stop loss of 354 and a target of about 372 to 379. HPCL is likely to raise about 1080 crore to fund its capex. Also, friends, we have seen that the crude prices have really come down from about 114 to almost 108.5. So this would have some positive implications for oil marketing companies. So one can go long on HPCL with a stop loss of 280 and a target of about 295 to 300. In case of Tata Power, the positive development is that the Coal India board has actually finalized the fuel supply agreement, and they have also said that Coal India would be providing the imported coal to the users at cost plus basis. So this is a bit of a positive for some of the users like Tata Power. So one can go long with a stop loss of 96 and a target of about 101 to 103. And friends, there are reports, though it's a little premature, but the possibility of the United Spirits deal going through is very high, and this could happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks time. And the price that is being talked about is almost 1500 rupees per share. Remember, the United Spirits closing price on Tuesday was somewhere around 960 to 965. So at a substantial premium to the current price, this deal is likely to go through, and currently the stock is in ban period. So it would make more sense to actually buy from the cash market with a stop loss of 950 and a target of about 998 to 1017. And there are a few more companies where the IMG has decided to deallocate the coal block. Some of these companies are Maharashtra Seamless, Sunflag Iron and Steel, GVK Power, Jaiswal Nico and DB Power. So some of these companies could have a negative opening in today's market. And in terms of fundamental update, friend, there was a analyst meet of TCS on Monday, and though most of the things were positive, there was a bit of a negative remarks on the margin front, and the fact that TCS has actually outperformed most of the IT companies. A lot of analysts have turned a little cautious on TCS, and because of that we've seen that the TCS stock has actually corrected by almost 4 to 5%. But we believe that from a fundamental perspective, TCS would remain a little underperformer in the current environment. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great session and see you tomorrow at the same time.